Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from PhonePunch and today we are unboxing the brand new Moto G 3rd generation. Now we have got this retail unit from Flipkart. You get a 4G SIM free with the box, and this is actually the Rs 13,000 variant with which you get 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage. Now this Moto G has IPX7 rating, so it's water resistant as well. 13 megapixel rear camera, 5 megapixel front facing camera is available over here as well, along with a 2470 mAh battery, which is again non-removable. Now this is a 4G LTE device, it is dual SIM as well, and it features Snapdragon 410 quad-core 64-bit processor powering all the innards. Now the back has a very interesting texture as well. I'll talk about that in a short while, but let's see what else we have inside the box. So first up, you have the USB wall charger. This comes with 2 USB ports and it's rated at 1150 milliamps. And you have a micro USB to USB data syncing and charging cable. Very nice from Motorola, because earlier we used to get a wired wall charger, and this is your headset, again the same that we got with the previous gen Moto G. Now here's your quick start guide. You have one in Hindi as well, and there is some other information, quite a lot of documents actually. But let's have a look at the Moto G now. So let me just remove this information sheet up top. Now the front is absolutely flat. You have Corning Gorilla Glass protection all throughout. Now let's have a look at the build of the device. On the right you have the power lock and unlock button as well as the volume rocker. The power button is textured, so it's easier to find. You don't have to hunt for it. At the top you have the 3.5mm audio jack as well as a secondary noise cancellation mic. And you can see this sort of metallic looking trim, but it's again made out of plastic. There's nothing on the left hand side. At the bottom you have space to open the back cover as well as the micro USB data syncing and charging port. Now even though this phone is waterproof, it has a capless micro USB. Moving to the back, you have a 13 megapixel rear camera, dual tone flash right there as well, and the classic Motorola dimple. So again, great ergonomics, and you can see this texture on the back cover as well. It is sort of ripped in pattern and it's very good to hold. Now apart from just looking great, it actually makes the phone far easier to grip. Now let's open up this back cover. We'll take a look at the insides. So the back cover in itself is very sturdy as well, and you can see those rubber locks right up top. So they actually protect the SIM card slots and the micro SD card slot. And you see that there are 2 micro SIM card slots right up top, and then the micro SD card slot so that they can expand storage up to 32 odd gigs. And then you have a 2470 mAh battery which is kept inside. Everything is locked shut so that no water enters this device. It is IPX7 rated, which Motorola says can withstand water up to 3 feet for 30 minutes and there will be no damage to the innards. So this is definitely a first in this price segment, and moreover the build quality on this device is truly superb. No bend, no flex anywhere. So now let's boot up this device. You can see the Motorola logo right up top. Now I have a 5 megapixel front facing camera here, proximity and light sensors, and the main earpiece. There is no notification LED and it's not required because you have active display, and at the bottom you have the single speaker on the device, no stereo speakers over here, and the microphone is embedded within it as well. And then you have this 5-inch HD IPS display which is clad in Corning Gorilla Glass. So folks, we have now booted into Android Lollipop. It's an almost stock experience over here. Android 5.1.1, no bloatware, no useless apps installed. There are some Motorola customizations which we'll talk about, and those are actually great add-ons. Now again, some information about water resistance. You have to keep the back cover shut tight, otherwise the phone won't be waterproof. There will be some water that goes through. Here are all your quick toggles, but first let's get into settings and I'll show you that we are running Android 5.1.1 Lollipop. It's the latest version of Android. Coming to storage, out of that 16 gig, you have about 11.1 gig available right out of the box, and USB OTG is also supported over here. I'm playing a 1080p video right off the USB disk. We'll check if apps are movable or not, and at present about 1.2 gigs of RAM are free out of 2 gigs after the first boot. Now let's talk about this display. So you have a 5-inch HD IPS display clad in Corning Gorilla Glass. The viewing angles are pretty wide, but I do see a bit of brightness shifting when you tilt the display in vertical direction. Now color reproduction is actually pretty good over here. Colors really pop here, but yes, the whites do look a little dull. I do have the double twist to open up the camera app available on the Moto G now as well. It's pretty quick, it works every single time, and the camera app is pretty much the same that we have seen previously as well. It does capture images quickly, focusing does take slightly longer than what would I have liked. And you can see right here you have manual control over exposure, which was introduced in a recent update to the app, and you can go ahead and control exposure by just moving the focus ring. Now there's a new low light mode available too, we'll check that out, and you can record 1080p videos with the rear camera. Now coming to the front facing camera, it's a 5 megapixel unit over here. The display behaves as a soft flash when you're taking photos, and the quality does seem to be pretty alright. Not a lot of noise even though the lighting is really not that great here. Now the rear camera takes very good images. The color reproduction does seem quite alright. Not a lot of noise in these images, and it does seem to be quite sharp. We'll take an in-depth look at the camera later on, but first let's talk about software. So the Moto G 3rd generation again is running a very stock build of Android 5.1.1. Basic Google apps come pre-installed and there is no bloatware on the device. Some very useful Motorola apps do come installed, and again they are great additions. You do have widget support baked in as well, and the UI is very responsive. Apps do open up quickly, and I haven't noticed any lag in the animations, or for that matter moving around through the interface as well. All your quick toggles right here. Now you cannot edit these because once again stock Android, and it seems that user account profiles are not available. But you do have priority interruptions mode available here as well, as is screen pinning on the device. Overall very smooth interface to work with, and you do have these great Motorola additions like Moto Assist. You can set a sleep time, and you can set time for meetings as well. Moto Actions, so Karate Chop to start the flash, Karate Chop again to stop it. You do have double twist to open up the camera app, and then there's a great addition, Moto Display. So you get your notifications right on the display itself, and there is no need for a notification LED. Great feature over here. Let's come to web browsing. So again, we have seen that with stock Android, web browsing is always pretty smooth, and that doesn't disappoint on the Moto G 3rd generation as well. Pinch to zoom is very smooth, and the display does look quite alright. I don't see any major lag over here. Pinch to zoom is very smooth. Apps do open up quickly as well. You can see that right here. Again, the animations are very slick. The UI is very smooth over here. Camera opens up quickly too. And there's lots of free RAM available. It's quite optimized. So even the apps that you had opened before in background don't get closed that quickly. Well folks, that was a first look at the new Moto G 3rd generation retail unit. It looks great, it performs well, and coming to the specs even, it is very competitive. And then it's IPX7 rated for water resistance. So you really can't ask for more at this price point. We'll definitely be checking out this phone in greater detail and compare it with the Samsung Galaxy J5 and J7 as well. Stay tuned to Phone Bunch, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, do hit us in the comment section. And as always, have a great day.